now welcome to the stage, doing his ceremonial speech. Please welcome and give it up for High Spurgeon!
Hello and welcome. I'd like today to talk about one of the few people that I personally identify with on the Times 100 most famous people list, who is Aziz Ansari. He's a comedian known for certain things like Parks and Recreations, and he did a lot of stand-up. And he also is of Indian descent, although he was born in America. So he understands a lot of Indian culture and American humor, which makes a connection between a lot of people and allows to break down stereotypes and allows him to relate to both the people he's talking to and also the people that follow him and his parents, who obviously I'm sure did not want him to go into comedic stand-up, because Indians tend to have very strict and very structured guidelines that they give for their kids. I know this because I spent many years working at a movie theater that was owned by an Indian family, and we played a lot of Bollywood films, and I got to interact with a lot of the patrons. And because he has such an understanding of both American culture and Indian culture and his heritage, whether it be growing up with arranged marriages that most Indians deal with. I too understand arranged marriages because I grew up in a very strict religion with my parents who didn't allow me to date, and they also had a plan for me to get arranged, which I obviously did not follow. But I understood the pressures that people deal with not being able to date, not being the status quo norm of most Americans. So he also understands the plights and what plagues Americans, and that allows him to break down people's misconceptions of whether it be Indian culture or humor, which has a lot of innocence to it. A lot of the films had very, I guess you'd say, simple humor, and not a lot really behind it. I think he also allows us as a culture to reduce the amount of tension between our cultures, mainly because a lot of people have misconceptions and stereotypes when it comes to the Indian cultures, and a lot of it comes from not being able to understand how they grow up and what they're taught and why they react a certain way, because everybody learns things that are different. But in reality, you can learn things from anybody. There's something you can learn from every person that you meet. There's something you can learn from every culture that you interact with. And it would only make us as American people stronger and better if we understood everything around us and understood how people interact and relate better. I really think Aziz has an ability to break down a major barrier when it comes to cultures between American and Indian cultures. So basically, to sum everything up, is that I believe that having a comedian with that ability to understand two cultures that have so much tension between them, it'll allow us to break down a lot of things and grow as American people. And it takes people like Aziz to really allow us to understand everything. So I thank you for your time, and I will see you later.